Hello and welcome to Real Hi-Fi Help. I found this interesting video. I just want to warn you, this guy swears a lot, so just be warned about that. But I find that he said some things that are interesting. I just want to comment on that.
So I really pissed off a lot of stupid autistic kids by saying the Sennheiser HD560S are basically overrated. And they're overrated because the Sennheiser HD600 series actually fucking sucks. Again, look around. How many people do you actually see using the ultra flat HD600s? I mean, just look around. Look at how many people on YouTube do you see actually wearing the Sennheiser HD600s? Almost fucking no one. You know why? I own them for 2 or 3 weeks. They sounded veiled. The treble sounded very roughed up and gritty. It's like sandpaper. It was really nasty. Its sibilants would cut in and out. Like, again, I burned it into my head to remember why I'm never going to buy those stupid fucking things ever again. They sounded veiled. They had a fatiguing 5 kilohertz peak. They were dead fish boring.
I have to say that I partly agree with that, because I also find a lot of Sennheiser headphones, especially the lower ones, that they are fatiguing and they are boring and grey, and yeah, just like you said, a bit grainy, a bit like the ones that he has on now, the biodynamic that he has on. I haven't heard this specific model HD5 560S, but I've heard all the 600 models and the 595 and those, and I can relate to what he says. It is a bit annoying with Sennheiser and the lack of personality and direction. It just feels a bit weird and mechanical with some of their headphones.
They weren't engaging. I didn't enjoy listening to anything on them. They fucking sucked. And you can watch like Z reviews talking about the Neumann, studio monitors that are ultra flat. They suck because they don't have any color. They don't have a treble emphasis. They don't have a bass boost. I was one of those people before I started buying a bunch of headphones that thought flat was everything. Flat is best. Flat studio monitors. If they sound good on the 600s, they're going to sound good on anything. They're perfect for mixing and mastering, right?
But that is a very interesting thing that he says, and not many people are saying this in hi-fi, but he is right. When you have a product, not just headphone, you need a direction, you need a character. You cannot just go with flat, dead, boring, correct. He is right. A lot of the cheaper headphones, especially Sennheiser, in the cheaper end, are just without soul, without character, going in no direction, and everything's like skeletal, but still it's a bit warm, and still there's a bit of top end, so you're kind of confused and you don't know, should I return these? Are these good? Sometimes they sound good, but other times they don't, and I agree. And I also have to say that with a lot of Sennheiser headphones, the cables really are so bad that they really degrade the whole performance. So if you could just get, like, I don't know, a Cardes cable or something like that, that would be a huge upgrade for the stock Sennheiser sound. So it would be a bit more meaty and just give you more substance. So yeah, interesting hearing him say all of these things.
No, they're fucking not. Look around. How many people do you actually see using that shit? Literally fucking no one. If they were so great, they would be all over the place. It's a theoretical, philosophical way of thinking that holds no fucking reality in the real world. And Sennheiser has been, running with it. We've got these flat headphones. And they're coming out with the 560S, and they're flat. They're doing all these things.
Yeah.
They're modified 599s that flatten out the fundamentals below 1K, and yet they're really hyping up. We got a extended bass response. They have the same bass extension as the 599s. You're not getting any additional bass. They just tilted the bass, that's actually a bad thing. You no longer have a bass boost like on the 599s. You know, they're more flat and linear and boring and shitty, honestly.
I do believe that.
They did, you know, scoop out 3 to 4 kilohertz, which gives them a little bit more soundstage, though. That's good.
Yeah, like Peter Quartorp said in that video, you can just highlight some of the frequency, making it seem more forward and having a bigger soundstage by just highlighting, manipulating the frequency. So without having really made a better headphone, like he says, you can just tilt the frequency axis a bit. So you don't really have to change the headphone, and then you just give it a different outside, call it a different model, and he is right. He is right. Because at least with the 595 that he talks about, there was a bit of bass boost, but I can't imagine what he says, because I've had a lot of Sennheiser headphones, and I find that, just like he says, they have a tendency of just tilting the sound a bit this way, a bit that way, and well spotted, yeah.
So at least you have that. You have a little bit of soundstage. Again, a lot of people complain the 600s don't have any fucking soundstage, and that was by design. Again, sometimes by design is shit. Ultra flat by design is shit. Okay, you want a little bit of soundstage. I was one of those people who said, I don't want soundstage, I don't want a bass boost, I don't want a treble boost, I want flat. And when I bought them, that's not what I was expecting. It was veiled, it was overly warm on the HD600s, you know, grainy, fatiguing, lumpy 5 kilohertz in the high frequencies, harsh. I was actually surprised by how harsh they were. Like, harsh, like sandpaper harsh, like not stabbing peaks, but like just like the texture. I had to come up with a new word, the fucking texture. And, you know, people call it grain, I call it texture. It's fucking rough. So the entire Sennheiser 600 series, very grainy. A lot of people bring it up, not enough though. These don't have any grain on them. These are clear, they have a bass emphasis, they're V-shaped, they're fun. I used to talk shit about V-shaped headphones.
I would say that they are a bit grainy, these HD. I don't know if it's, I think it looks like the 990s. I've had those before, and they have some personality, and they are boosted in sound, but they are also a bit raw and harsh in sound. So I get what he means. They at least have some direction, some character. So yeah.
You know, here I am doing critical listening to microphones, and, you know, I'm supposed to be reviewing all this audio equipment. The 600s, I even made a video. They're terrible for mixing and mastering. They're terrible for critical listening because, again, a lot of people don't focus on those little peaks, you know, the stabbing peaks, the tone throughout the frequency response. The 600s, again, they have a fatiguing 5. It made everything, again, if you watch my reviews of it, the HD600s made everything sound like it was recorded with a rusty AKG C414XL2 microphone. If everything sounds like it's recorded with a fucking XL2 C414XL2 microphone, you know, it's not as transparent as you think. If it sounds like it was all recorded with one particular microphone that has a 5 kilohertz peak and has a very rough treble. That's the reason why I said it had to be a rusty AKG C414XL2. It needs some rust to get that grain that just. And then again, they come out with a modified 599 that's supposed to sound like a 660S, HD 660S, which has characteristics to the HD 600s and the, you know, the 650s. You know, the stabbing 5 kilohertz peak. I don't know if it has that because it's using a different driver, the 599 driver. Again, the thing is, you don't want flat. You hyped up fucking morons. Nobody uses the HD 600s. It's a philosophical idea that falls flat on its face in reality. Okay? Deal with it.
Okay, that's a provoking video. Sorry about the swearing, but he is right. It's just the way he says it. Everybody's focused on making an ultra neutral flat sound, and then you put these cheap filters in, then you save on the cables, the parts, you just make a slight modification, manipulate the sound in a cheap way, and you just you don't get a proper sound. This is just a great example of that, and I just wanted to show you guys this. And I generally don't like what he has to say about stuff, but I feel that this one video that he made, someone needed to say what he said, because most of it is true. It's just the way he said it. But I also have to say that, to the defense of Sennheiser, when you have the 600 series, which I do, I have the Sennheiser 650 HD, I think it's called, the old top model. It sounds okay. It sounds okay. There is a lot of the stuff that he says going on in that headphone. True. But when you change the cable, it actually becomes quite a bit better and fills out those holes. And once you have a really good source and a really good amplifier, not those basic transistor amplifiers, it really starts taking off, and you get a lot of value for your money. And but yeah, he's right that when you look at YouTubers and a lot of people in the studio, they never have those headphones on, and I don't really exactly know why, because I've had these before, these DT990 Pro biodynamic headphones, and for the price, they're very good. And yes, the Sennheiser probably cost like twice as much than those, and these are in a way better because they're more boosted and they're more raw, and you get, in some ways, get more of a feeling of depth and personality. But again, the Sennheiser still has a bit of class once you pair it with some proper gear and you take care of the cable. It actually does sound like one of the better Sennheiser headphones. A pretty good value buy. So I bought mine used for like $200, a bit less than $200, $150 I think. A couple of years ago, and it still had like a year left on the warranty, and I would say that that's a very good purchase. And also the headphone that he's wearing now, very good purchase for the price, good value. That cost like half the price, about $100. Nah, I can't even remember now. It's such a long time ago I've had them. I think they're like, $150 to $200. Yeah, sorry. They're good in a different way, and they also take a lot of time to burn in, like the Sennheiser ones. But yeah, he is right. A lot of the Sennheiser headphones, they are a bit disturbing. That they just feel like they've been manipulated slightly this way and that way, and it's always at the expense of something else on the frequency, where you just highlight a part of the frequency to manipulate a better sound without really having changed the parts and give it a good treatment, good plugs, good cables and such. And yeah, I feel that Sennheiser is a very good example of that, where there's just, they don't take care of the cable, they don't put proper plugs on it, and it feels like the components inside are just a bit cheap and plasticky, and that they're earning a lot of money on the headphones compared to like Audis or Abyss or Focal. I mean, those manufacturers, they're brilliant within the headphone sector. They really make a lot of really good headphone sound, and I wish that Sennheiser would follow the trend. So yeah, that's all for this time, and I'll probably not cover another video from this guy because of the whole tone. I don't want that to bring down my channel, but I just thought that the message that he had to say behind all of this swearing was kind of right, and you had to hear it from someone else than me, so you don't think that I'm being overly negative. Yeah, that's all, and have a nice day. Bye.